Hi everybody, it's Jeff Fitzpatrick. It's Monday the 5th of May and this is my weekly video log. And we follow the strategy of selling puts on and buying high quality, great value stocks that increase our buying power. And we're making really good money by doing so. So, as usual, we'll take a look at the market, at my stock picks and at the clubs. We'll start with the market. And here we have two screenshots. One taken on Friday last, that's the 2nd of May, and one from the previous weekend, 26th of April. And we can see that what's happened is we've been closing the gap further. So we're now back to the point where the market was at the beginning of April, when President Trump announced his tariff regime. We'd already seen a drop in the market from its all-time high before that, and hopefully we will keep progressing back towards that point and know we'll get there. It's only a question of when. And the clubs. Well, since July of 24, the clubs have performed extremely well, and the trading system has proven resilient in the face of volatility and turbulence caused by the Trump slump. And while all have done well, some have done better than others. And the differences seem to be as a result of one, the size of the club. The bigger clubs with larger trades do better. And secondly, clubs with significant amounts of new money going in on a regular basis, they also do better. Now, this is probably because of the stock buying power, but also it's because of the size of the trades gives less impact from the cost of the trades. But nonetheless, we've got to try and help the smaller clubs along to do better and to get up to speed. So it's time to take further bold action. What we need to do is to replace poorly performing stocks, and these mainly came in during the previous trading regime, with stock buying power that can be used to rapidly increase the value of those clubs. So most of the stocks are rising in price at present, and we do generally have sufficient stock buying power for the available good trades. But as those prices reach resistance points and we need additional stock buying power, the stock will be sold to finance new trades. Albeit that the stock will be sold at a loss, we can actually make more money more quickly by having the stock buying power available to turn towards better trades. So we come to this week's picks. Now, all of the picks that I go for have good looking charts. They're at low points with low risk to reward ratios. The indicators are generally positive. There's some momentum. The stock is moving in the right direction in terms of both price and earnings, and the company behind them is profitable. They generally have Zacks scores of 1, 2, or 3, and Value Line Timeliness scores also of 1, 2, or 3, and a positive value line analysis. Now, these are last week's picks. If you look across right to the right-hand side under the column headed Earnings, the three highlighted are the ones that I was looking for. And I didn't go with the third one, LUV. That is actually Southwest Airlines, and I don't generally like airlines, particularly in the current climate, economic climate that is. But I did go with VRT and I did go with IBKR. The third column in for the left, Friday, shows what the price was when the market closed and when I was doing this analysis. The next column, headed price, was the live price. So as we went through the week, you could see what happened. So on VRT, for example, when we did the analysis, the price was at, call it $87. By the end of the week, it was at $95. And generally, most of them are of a similar ilk. Our IBKR, $169 when we did the analysis, $181.55 at the end of the week. So that's telling us a couple of things. One, we're getting it right. You've got the percentages there, VR, IBKR was up by 7.2% in the week, VRT by 9% during the week. So we're choosing there very good trades to sell puts on, but they were also very good trades to buy stock on. So where we have cash, available cash in the clubs, and we've got stocks as good as this with low levels of stock buying power attached to them, then we can equally improve our position by buying the stock as we can by selling puts. So that's what we'll probably be doing going forward. We'll be looking to see whether we can best be rewarded by selling the put or buying the stock or doing a bit of both, even possibly on the same stock. And here are this week's picks. And you'll see I haven't actually even done the analysis on many of them. Top of the hit parade is IBKR again. And we're looking here at an annualized return on investment for the put of 81%. Even that is a bit low for me. The rest, 59, call it 60%, they're a bit low. However, they could be candidates for purchases. So that's what we may well be doing. This would be a great opportunity to buy a stock that's going to give us good stock buying power as a result of owning it, because we can't get a very good premium on it. Now, the reason that the list is so short is under the earnings column. The clue is there. So I've gone down with earnings dates up to the end of July. Well, up to the middle to end of July. If it's in the middle of July, then I've had to go with the June strike price and the June expiration date. But I've got all of these, 5th of May, 6th of May, lots and lots of stock that is looking good, but where the earnings date is too soon. So today is actually the 5th. So we may well even pick up a couple today and tomorrow and the next day that become good trades. So I'll have to look at those after we get earnings announcements and see what they look like then. So that's where we're at for the moment. I will be using the IBKR, which is Interactive Brokers trade, where it's not already being used in clubs. And I'll be looking at buying stocks with some of the spare cash that is around. Now, I'm also running here a bit of an experiment. So what I've done, I've taken the stocks that were held by all of the clubs. So these are all the stocks held by each of the trading clubs that I get involved with. And I've then looked at, well, it was last week, I looked at the Zacks score and the Value Line score. So just to remind you, Zacks go 1, 2, 5. 1 is a strong buy, 2 is a buy, 3 is a hold, 4 is a sell, and 5 is a strong sell. And I'm treating the Value Line timeless scores in the same way. So for example, AEIS was a 4 for both Zacks and Value Line. But we can see that even though both were saying it's a sell, during the week, the price went from $98.89 to $111. So I don't think either of those two scores were particularly reliable. Now, what I'm looking at is the differences between the two scores. I want to see which is the better. And they may not necessarily either be very good, but which is the better of the two of them. So, for example, AROC, Zacks had it as a strong buy and Value Line as a sell. And it actually, in fact, it went down slightly. BAH, again, a hold versus a very strong buy, didn't go up by a lot. CVS, a hold versus a very strong buy, and it went up a couple of dollars. Now, we're only a week into this, so I'm not actually drawing any conclusions from this, but what I'm going to do is keep a record of what the prices are like after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, perhaps 2 months, 3 months, even 6 months. So we'll see which of the scores comes out best over a reasonable period of time. And that will be very interesting to see whether my shiny new score from Zacks or the old ValueAds score does best. I have no idea which way that is going to go. So the training course that I started, Zoom-based, being asked for by a few people to do it, that started this week on Thursday. And it went very well, I think. People seem to get a lot from it and enjoy it. And you can actually still join it. And if you go to myinvestmentclub.co.uk, you can press on the Extraordinary Trading System course button on the front page, and you'll come through to here and you can join the course. The second session will be on Thursday. I'm running it at 3 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. You can do either, or you can do both. So you'll be able to catch up on the session that you missed, because that is going to be available permanently on the course pages for the of the website. But also I'm going to put it in to the WhatsApp groups and onto the Facebook group this week, so that anybody who thinks they might be interested can watch that first session and decide if they want to come on board. So the course covers exactly how I find these stocks, how we're beating the world's best traders. It gives permanent access to the recordings of the sessions, and I expect there to be about 10 of them. It's got a low cost. I'm only charging £250 to join the course. It started on the 1st of May, 3 o'clock and 6:30. It's each Thursday. There is a course WhatsApp group. You can share thoughts, and we are sharing thoughts in there. And you can get on board at myinvestmentclub.co.uk. And as I've just said, I will be putting the link into the WhatsApp groups, onto the Facebook page, and I will also put it into the myinvestmentclub.co.uk, so that if you want to watch the first section of the course and then decide whether you want to join, you can do that without any commitment, cost, or obligation. And that Facebook group you'll find at the Extraordinary Stock Trading System in Facebook. And if you're watching this and you're not currently a member of any of my extraordinary investment clubs, then go to myinvestmentclub.co.uk. You can find out more there. You can put into these clubs anything like £100 a month. You can put in large lump sums, 100,000. Some people put more than that in, and you'd be very welcome. You'll also get into the WhatsApp groups, where you'll find there's 50 or so members in each club. You can ask them anything you like, and I will be interfering with their answers. So that's about it for this week. Hope you've had a good bank holiday weekend if you're in the UK, and I'll talk to you again next week.